Today we are doing part one of a four-part series with Matthew Pennell, Dr. Matthew Pennell, the chiropractor. Stick around, this is awesome. We're really wanting to start to collaborate, and we're sharing some content. We're getting together on this video, and we're going to start doing this probably weekly or every other week. And I'm going to start collaborating with more and more people to bring you more quality information. Alright everybody, before we get into this, there's a ton of people that watch this channel that aren't subscribed. The majority of people that watch this channel aren't subscribed, so hit that subscribe button right now before we get into this. Plus hit that bell so you get notifications of everything on the way. So once you've done it, once you've hit that subscribe button, let's get right into it.
Welcome everyone to the newest episode of the Entrepreneur's Edge podcast. We're starting to do a little co-op. A good friend of mine, Jacob Godar of Scooters Lawn Care, has joined me for a Zoom meeting, but we're recording podcasts. We've got video going. We've got a little bit of everything here. So my name is Dr. Matt Pennell. I'm a chiropractor at Element Health and Wellness, and I'll let Jacob get into his role with scooters and how he built this amazing business from scratch. And then we'll kind of go in from there. So Jacob, you want to give us a little background? That way we're kind of sharing both audiences here.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm Jacob Godar. I own Scooters Lawn Care. We're going into our 7th season. Always trying to build every year, and it's been a crazy ride from kind of starting out just with a push mower and a blower, doing it on the side, to deciding. I mean, I knew I wanted to have a business at some point, and just taking that full scale and turning it into a place where last year we did 1.3 million in sales, and we employed, like at our peak, probably 20-something people. So
cool. So appreciate the intro. It's exciting to hear, where you're at with your business. And, as we get more into this, I think we'll talk more about our businesses and what we personally have brought to the table, and, why we're so excited to do something like this. But I wanted to flash over to Jacob real quick. He was the one who kind of came up with the idea that, hey, let's co-op a bit. And it's kind of funny that he approached me when he did, because it was something that I had thought a lot about. I think when you bounce ideas off of each other, you bring a whole different mindset, whole different dynamic. And so I'm excited. Tell me why you're excited to get this rolling.
I mean, I had someone reach out to me on YouTube that wanted to collaborate. For whatever reason, he came across me because he knew someone that needed help building their landscape business, and he found my YouTube channel. And just the idea of collaborating and helping each other create more content, plus being able to, you interview me, you do a podcast, I get to interview you, and we get to spread more people's opinion. We get to continue drawing in more new people. And it's just, I watch a lot of podcasts and a lot of videos that are just like this. And I've seen so much of this going on Zoom right now, with the way the economy is and with all the issues everyone knows about. And it seems like an awesome thing to take on and start doing, because now we get to have more connections, you get more opinions, which just helps us make better decisions.
I agree. And it's not that necessarily, you listening to a podcast of mine or a video of yours or whatever it is. It's not just that it's so opinionated. I just think, like, you and I are on a level that we can agree to disagree also on something. It's not always about like, hey, we see exactly eye to eye. I think everybody's got their own viewpoint, and that's good. That's kind of the point of this too. And we're about to get into a little bit of clean, and not from a negative necessarily standpoint, maybe some, but you see so many people out there that are just basing their opinions off of what they see on social media or just what they see on the news. And I don't know that either one of them are necessarily the right source. Like, you really have to dig in and find out what you personally think, maybe how the virus attacks the body. Is the news reporting it correctly? There's a lot of politics involved in this whole thing.
Yeah.
And so this is a pretty heavy topic right now, obviously.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy when you start seeing like the politicians or whoever's announcing that. I saw something the other day, and they were flat out saying, like, right now, pretty much every death is a COVID death. how, no matter how you die. And it's just weird to know, like, it's just weird to not have any idea what's going on, and everybody's in a different place. Some people are still in the extremely scared place trying to figure it out. Some people are moving, like starting to move forward. And then there's a whole other group of people that's, I'm going to take every opportunity that's presented, because when people are scared is usually when there's a lot of opportunities. These people aren't going for stuff as much because everyone's reserved, trying to protect my cash, trying to protect this, trying to protect my health. So it opens it up for people that kind of want to spearhead things and go out there and do even more.
Man, I couldn't agree more. I think regardless of which stand you take on the issue, there's a lot of back end that is affecting all of us in regards to the business, how we operate. People have lost jobs already. Cash flow is way different. How we operate our businesses are different. There are people that have gotten sick. There are some people that have died, at least from the reports that we've seen. And, it'd be interesting to have them dive a little bit deeper into, some of those issues. An interesting thing before we get into the business side, you and I talked, and it actually sparked some really interesting ideas. I told you that through my wife and through some of her friends, we knew of somebody that was personally affected by, the coronavirus. It was up in the New York area. And to our knowledge, it was somebody that had passed away due to the virus, or at least they were approaching it that way. I'm not going to get into it too much, but let's just say that they didn't really speak any more of it. Okay. And what I thought was really interesting is when I told you, I was like, well, we actually know of somebody that was affected. And you were like, wow, that's crazy. Did they actually confirm that that's the case? And I'm like, as I started thinking, I'm like, well, they freaked out at first like it was coronavirus linked, and it very well could have been, but I haven't heard a definitive yes that there was something involved. Again, I don't want it to, I don't want to play off that one instance too much.
You don't want to accuse and say, no, that didn't even happen. So
right, exactly. But I thought it was interesting, and I thought, touch on that, because that's a really good point.
Well, that's what, when you said that to me, I've just been hearing so much about people being pronounced a death due to this cause, whether it was or whether it wasn't. And it hadn't really came out yet that was what was happening. Somewhere over, because it hit the news or it hit somewhere over the weekend, or maybe right shortly after we talked, they actually had people flat out saying it, that that's what's happening. And I don't know, it just leaves you not knowing what to think, not knowing what's really going on, because what's the purpose? I mean, I do understand that in a crisis, it could be hard to document everything correctly. I mean, you from a medical standpoint, I know how much back end work there can be on documentation and everything. So it could be really hard to track, and maybe somehow that makes it a little easier. I don't know, but it just leaves me asking more questions, because how many people, when I was talking to you about this, I started seeing all these, I don't have verification of them, but I just, so kind of like you, I asked you, is that verified?
Yeah, right.
Verification of them, but you start seeing more and more stories of families that are upset that was considered a COVID death when it wasn't, and they were mad that person, they had to get labeled that, even though that wasn't how they died at all. So yeah. I've been reading and seeing more and more of that. I've been hearing some different things. And it was weird that I brought that up to you, having this kind of worry and concern. And then shortly after, there's confirmation of, yeah, that's what we're doing. If they get in and they test positive, that's how we're marking it.
It is crazy. I remember seeing a tweet not that long ago, maybe a couple weeks back, that they said something very similar to that. That every death or every hospitalization in the New York area was being reported that way. Now, I don't know how credible the source was that tweeted that out. I mean, some of the stuff, but it throws it out there like, hey, it's a possibility. And just listening to some of the other videos, one that you had sent me, and two gentlemen were going back and forth. What were the guys' names that?
I believe it was Robert Kiyosaki and Patrick.
Yes, it was. Yeah, but I think it was Kiyosaki that was saying, and I don't know much about these guys, their backgrounds, but he was saying that he has approached the coronavirus in a couple different ways, and was told by big pharma to, hey, you know, walk away from this. And I don't know if them directly or somebody kind of in a roundabout way that knew more. And you could tell like he was really tiptoeing. And I don't think, based on the little bit that I know about these guys, they were giving each other some background, it doesn't sound like either of them are too willing to back off of a potential story. So I think that's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I don't know what to say, you know, because I don't know. You know, everything I say is just opinions, not, you know, I'm not a doctor. I'm not seeing any of it. I just know that everybody's kind of in their own part of the process, whether they're freaked out or whether maybe they still don't even care and they're just living their life. But I know that, you know, the main thing, obviously, we should be doing our best to whatever however serious the situation is, we all need to be doing our best to not try to magnify the effects of it. So.
All right, everybody, I hope you really enjoyed part one of this. This was awesome. It was great spending time with a high school, a grade school, a preschool friend. Me and Matthew went through every grade together. It's really cool to spend some time with him, and it's an awesome time to be doing these Zoom conference calls because you can't really, he's in Dallas and I'm in Illinois, so this is awesome to get together and share this with you. I know you all enjoyed it. I'll talk to you soon.